This is Nerd Love News. I am your nerd guru, Jimmy Glover, and nerdlings, this is your news. First, Avengers 2 Age of Ultron is heading to theaters on May 1st. We will see the return of all of our favorite heroes, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, and Hawkeye. We will also be introduced to fan favorites like Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Vision. One surprise bit of news is there is no end credit scene. However, there will be a mid-credit scene. The rumor is that the mid-credit scene will connect to Avengers Infinity Wars. Director Joss Whedon said that he just could not think of a logical scene like the shawarma scene at the end of the first Avengers to put in the second Avengers movie. Also, Kevin Feige has said no Captain Marvel or Spider-Man appearance in Avengers 2. Speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man is now part of the Marvel Universe, which means we will see a movie coming out sometime in 2017. This will not be a retelling of his origin story like the Raimi or Webb incarnations. Marvel president himself, Kevin Feige, has said that this Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be a high school student. Also, that this Spider-Man will have already existed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have just not met him yet. This gives some fans relief that we actually may see a fresh take on our web slinger. Also, in 2018, a Spider-Man animated movie done by the directors of the Lego Movie is supposed to come out in 2018. It comes to theaters on July 17th. This will end Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel states that it is definitely a part of the Marvel Universe. It is all connected. Though many people feel it is an afterthought in the world building of Marvel. We will be introduced to Ant-Man and other new heroes and villains who should bring a more depth to the universe. Marvel has many other projects coming up in the next couple of years, aka Jessica Jones, Captain America Civil War, and Doctor Strange. aka Jessica Jones is the second of the Defender series on Netflix and is in production now. It is planned to come out fall of 2015. It follows Daredevil, which is the first in the series, and is now available to watch for Netflix subscribers. Marvel will also begin filming of Captain America Civil War in May and Doctor Strange in the fall, both with 2016 releases. It has now been released that the reason we have not seen a Hulk film yet from Marvel is because Universal still has the distributing rights, even though Marvel has complete creative control. So he can appear in a Marvel movie as a supporting character, but not in a solo film of his own. It is rumored, though, that he plays a major part in Age of Ultron. Now, Fox's X-Men Apocalypse is coming out in May of 2016. Director Bryan Singer's last film in this First Class trilogy is shaping up with an interesting cast. With Professor X, Magneto, Beast, Mystique, and Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, this will probably be the last time most of these actors will play these characters, except for Jackman playing Wolverine in one more solo film after Apocalypse. Singer has also added actress Olivia Munn as Cyclops to the cast of other New Mutants. Sophie Turner will be playing Jean Grey, Ben Hardy as Angel, Ty Sheridan as Cyclops, Bing Bing Fan as Blink, and Lana Condor as Jubilee. This film will take place in the 1980s, fighting one of X-Men's greatest enemies in the comics, Apocalypse, being played by Oscar Isaac. In other movie news, Terminator Genisys is coming out July the 1st of 2015. This film will bring back Arnold Schwarzenegger as the original T1 Terminator, but not the other cast. All of the other characters are being recast, including John Connor, Kyle Reese, and Sarah Connor. This will be considered a new timeline in the movie series. Now to comic books. Free Comic Book Day is coming on May the 2nd. It has become an annual tradition to where comic book companies such as DC and Marvel use this as a tool to introduce new and upcoming books to the fans and public. It is also a great event for local comic book stores who will give out these books. It gets fans both old and new into their doors. Now Marvel and DC, who are both using May 2nd as a way to introduce their big events. First, Marvel will be releasing Secret War Zero, which will prelude to Secret War #1 by Jonathan Hickman and Paul Rendard. Secret War is going to reshape the Marvel Universe and all the characters we know and love. DC is doing the same thing with Convergence. Their free comic book will be DC's Divergent. It will have a preview of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's new Batman. Also, Dark Horse is having several new offerings, including a new Goon by Eric Powell, a new The Strain by Del Toro, and a new Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. In toy news, Funko's Pop Vinyl toy line will have several new lines coming out. In May, the History Channel's Vikings will have 5 figures, including Ragnar, Lagatha, Rollo, Floki, and the Seer. Also, Doctor Who has a new product line coming out just for Funko Pop. And the first line includes 9 figures. 4 of the Doctors, a TARDIS, and 3 of the most popular villains, including Daleks and Cybermen. Doctor Who will also be getting a Lego set soon. This comes out of Lego's crowdsourcing program. The winner, Andrew Clark, his idea will include a TARDIS, a Dalek, and a Weeping Angel. Vinyl Idols is producing a line of Seinfeld figures. This line will include Kramer, Newman, Jay Peterson, and the Soup Nazi. Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game came out this year, also known as D&D Next. They came out this year with Tyranny of the Dragon storyline. They also will be releasing Temple of the Evil, which will start with the Prince of Apocalypse storyline. In this line, they are releasing a new playable race of elementals called the Genasi. Also, the Temple of Elemental Evil board game and Temple of Elemental Evil minifigures. In more RPG news, Fantasy Flight Games released the first of 4 RPG books with a different twist. They all use a D6 dice system and a very unique player sheet that uses your own strengths and weaknesses so you can play as yourself. Most of the games are either horror or survivor scenarios. The first book, which is already out, is called The End of the World Zombie Apocalypse, where you and your friends can try to survive several different types of zombie hordes. Later this year, books called The Wrath of the Gods, where you can try and outwit various deities like the Mayan gods or Cthulhu. There also will be an alien invasion, and then Rise of the Machines. Gen Con is coming in July to Indianapolis. This is the largest board game convention in the United States. There are several games that will be premiered during this event, one of which is a expansion to a fan favorite called Takenoko. The release will be called Takenoko Chips. Not much is known about the expansion done by Artuni Baza. In video game news, Activision is going to release Guitar Hero Live this fall, with live action component, interactive audience, and a first-person gameplay. The revamp of the phenomenon should be fun to play, coming to consoles, tablets, and multiple devices later this year. E3 in early July in Los Angeles is coming up, and it expects to be great this year. First, Fallout 4 is expected to be announced. This will be Bethesda's first E3 conference. Fallout 4 is supposed to be their cornerstone product. Also, Splinter Cell will have a new outing, will be announced for the fall this year. We should also learn more details from the announced last year Disney's Kingdom Hearts 3. Dallas Comic Con Fan Days has become one of the better Comic Con experiences in the South over the last couple of years. This year's show in May should be amazing. They plan on having fan favorites such as Stan Lee and Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion's new project is a web show called Con Men, which will be a hot topic being talked about. A web comedy about stars on the Comic-Con convention scene. McCall's Patterns, the leading in pattern designs for clothing and costumes, is partnering with celebrated cosplayer Yaya Han to produce a line of patterns for cosplayers. The first two patterns are a bodysuit and her well-known peacock costume. They will be available in July. So, nerdlings, that's the news for this week. Till next week, with more nerd news than you can handle, live a nerd life and love a nerd love. I am Jimmy Glover, your nerd guru, and nerdlings, I'm signing off.